The Kraft Foods Company presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you, transcribed by the Kraft Foods Company. Kraft, makers and importers of the world's favorite cheese, now brings you a triumph of cheese making. It's Kraft Natural Swiss cheese, sliced and sealed by Kraft for your convenience. Natural Swiss cheese is the kind with the holes. Try Kraft Natural Swiss soon. We're sure you'll like this new convenient way of buying Swiss cheese. It will become one of your favorites.
It's New Year's Eve here at Mr. Gildersleeve's house, and everything is in a hubbub. Bertie knows, because she's the hub of the bus. Mr. Gildersleeve's not one to spend New Year's Eve night clubbing with the girls. He prefers to stay home by the fire with one girl. And it's up to Bertie to fix a cozy little midnight supper for him.
Now, don't go to any trouble, Bertie.
Oh, no, sir.
Just a little cold snack.
Yes, sir.
Some ham and potato salad and some of that turkey left over from Christmas.
Mr. Gildersleeve, there ain't no turkey left.
No?
That gobbler's been gobbled.
Well, we'll have the ham and the potato salad. And a cheese tray. And a shrimp cocktail will be nice to start on.
Yes, sir.
And some hot biscuits, since everything else will be cold.
Yes, sir.
And coffee, of course, since we'll be up late. Is that going to be too much for you, Bertie?
Oh, no, sir. If you want me to, Bertie will sing Old Lang Syne while serving a flaming dessert.
Thank you, Bertie. I just want something simple.
Yes, sir. What time's Miss Henshaw coming over?
Well, I'm going for her as soon as I see Leroy off to his party.
That Leroy sure is excited. He's walking on air tonight.
Well, it's his first New Year's Eve at a party away from home.
And taking a girl.
Yeah. Leroy has good judgment when it comes to girls. In fact, I wouldn't let him go out tonight if he wasn't going with Babs.
No, sir.
I guess it's all right for him to ride to the party in Dinky's old car.
Oh, I think it'll be all right if Dinky keeps kerosene in that lantern so he'll have a tail light.
Oh, parent has a lot to consider these days, Bertie.
Oh, yes, sir.
You have to avoid taking undue chances, avoid pitfalls, raise him to be a perfect gentleman, cultured, dig...
Oh, he's a little gentleman, all right.
Oh, my goodness.
How do I look, Unc?
Fine, my boy, but I wouldn't jump like that. You'll knock the set out of your cufflinks.
I'm not wearing cufflinks.
You're not?
Heck no, I got my sleeves rolled up. We're dancing the shag tonight, man.
Leroy, put on your cufflinks. I'm not going to have a shaggy nephew.
Just kidding, Unc.
And you be careful out in that car tonight.
Oh, sure. Gosh, I hope Dinky has the top down.
No top on a cold night like this?
I didn't know that car had a top.
Yeah, it's an old beach umbrella. Well, I gotta go.
Now, Leroy, be careful. And remember what I said about coming home right after midnight.
Oh, sure. Brush me off, will you, Bertie?
Okay.
Right after the New Year rings in, I want you to be ringing the doorbell.
All right. How's my tie, Bertie?
Leroy, you aren't listening to what I'm saying.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. Now, what did I say?
You said be careful, come home early, and mind my manners.
Yeah, I didn't say mind your manners, but do it.
Okay. So long, Bertie.
Bye, Leroy.
See you next year, Unc.
Next year? Oh.
That boy.
Well, he better come home early next year. Hey, Bertie will have a nice supper for us later, Irene. This is the way I like to spend New Year's Eve.
So do I. It was just a small group of intimate friends.
You bet. And the fewer, the better. Come in, Irene. Let me take your coat.
Oh, thank you. Oh, your house looks so festive.
Well, we like to keep the Christmas tree up through New Year's. We'll have our supper over here by the fire.
Wonderful. You've thought of everything, Throckmorton, even paper hats. And 2 horns on the mantel.
Yeah, his and hers. Hey, let's sit here on the couch.
Evening, Miss Henshaw.
Hello, Bertie.
Happy New Year to you both.
Bertie, it isn't New Year yet.
It is New York. I just heard it on the radio, and it's moving west.
Well, we'll wait. Right here on the sofa.
Yes, sir. Bertie will let you know the minute it hits Chicago.
All right, Bertie.
Bertie has a wonderful disposition, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Miss Gildersleeve's resident. Oh, hello, Miss Marjorie.
It must be your niece.
And a happy New Year to you.
Marjorie never forgets her old uncle.
Yes, ma'am. He's here. Miss Gildersleeve.
Coming, Bertie. Excuse me, Irene.
Say hello for me.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Bertie.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Marjorie, my dear.
Unky, I thought I'd call and say Happy New Year before you left the house.
Oh, I'm staying home this year.
Alone?
Well, not exactly alone.
Oh, Miss Henshaw must be there.
You bet. And she sends her greetings to you.
Well, thank you.
How's your little family?
Oh, wonderful. We all send you and Leroy our love, and Miss Henshaw, of course.
Oh, thank you, my dear. Leroy went to his first New Year's party tonight.
You sound worried about him, Unky.
Well,
You used to worry the same way about me.
yes, and it paid off. You're happily married and the mother of twins. That's more than I can say for Leroy.
Well, I'll let you get back to your girl, and this is for you.
Oh, thank you, my dear. A kiss even before the bells begin to ring.
Goodbye, Unky.
Ta-ta! Why, George, there's a fine niece.
Marjorie's a lovely girl. For a bachelor, Uncle, you did very well raising a family, Throckmorton.
Well, I'll admit I've had some anxious moments since my sister passed on and left Marjorie and Leroy in my care. Yeah, I have a lot of pleasant memories, too.
It's a big job for a man to do alone.
Yeah, I've seen the time when I could have used a little help, all right. Gee, I was snowed under along about the time Marjorie was getting married.
It was probably frantic at the time, but it must be fun to look back on now.
Yeah. First, Marjorie surprised all of us and got engaged to Bronco. He was a fine fellow.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the business of planning a big wedding, getting out the invitations. A lot of responsibility. Yeah, I'll never forget. I came home one evening, and good old Bertie met me at
Is that you home, Miss Gildersleeve?
Yes, Bertie.
The wedding invitations just came.
Well, good.
And here's the bill.
Let's see. Zeke. They must be engraved in solid gold.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's open them.
Hey, what did that guy bring, Unc?
Marjorie's wedding invitations, Leroy.
Yeah, let me see them. How many are there?
Well, we ordered 200.
Yes, sir. Everybody in Summerfield wants to see Miss Marjorie married.
200? Gosh, they'll have to put bleachers in the church.
Well, everyone we send invitations to isn't supposed to attend the wedding. They're just supposed to send presents.
Mr. Gildersleeve's going to get his money back somehow.
Bertie.
What's going on, Unky?
Oh, your wedding invitation just arrived, Marjorie.
Oh, they did? Yeah. You're going to get married. I know, Leroy. Hey, why does the bride have to pay for everything?
It's very simple, my boy. If the groom had to pay, he wouldn't have enough left to start housekeeping.
I'm afraid this is just the beginning, Unky.
Oh?
Well, there'll have to be a cake and things for the reception, and flowers for the church, an organist, a soloist, and we have to furnish dresses for the bridesmaids.
I wonder if I can get a government loan for this project. Well, at least we won't have to buy you a wedding dress.
Well, are you sure Mother's wedding dress is here?
It must be.
Well, Bertie and I searched the attic. If it's here, it must be in that old trunk of yours.
Yeah, I guess so. Come on, Marjorie, let's go up and find it.
Oh, that must be Bronco. I can't go now, Unky.
Why not? Bring Bronco along. He can move the trunk.
Uncle Mort, the groom can't see the bride's dress before the wedding.
Oh, for corn's sake. The groom doesn't do anything. He doesn't pay for anything. He don't even have to look at anything.
Leroy.
the key to the trunk?
I have it. Hinge is pretty rusty.
Hey, what's this tied with a blue ribbon? One of Marge's curls?
No, it isn't quite the right color. I imagine it's yours.
Mine? That's Sissy Curl.
Of course. You were a very cute little boy, Leroy.
Ah.
Here's a note pinned to it.
Yeah?
Throckmorton's curl at age 5.
Guess you were pretty cute too, Unc.
Never mind. Let's look for the wedding dress.
What color is it?
It's white and lacy, Leroy. Oh, here it is.
Hey, that's pretty.
If you think the dress is pretty, take a look at this picture of your mother wearing it.
My mother?
Taken on her wedding day. My little sister.
Gosh, she was beautiful.
Yeah, Marjorie's just like her. Here, what's this? Oh, letter she wrote when she sent me the picture. Look at that postmark. June 17th, 1929.
1929? I wasn't even born yet.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, let's see what the letter says.
She wrote better than me and Marge, didn't she?
A beautiful hand, Leroy, beautiful. Dear Throckmorton, I thought you'd like to have a picture of your sister on the happiest day of her life.
Marge feels the same way. Why does everybody feel so happy when they get married?
Now, Leroy, I'm reading your mother's letter.
Oh, sure.
I suppose we won't see each other for a long, long time. But I keep telling myself our family isn't breaking up. I'm just starting a new one. Charles and I want 2 boys and 2 girls. Well, she had 1 boy and 1 girl. You and Marjorie, Leroy.
Yeah.
Let's see what else she says. It'll be the joy of my life to watch my children grow up and see them as happily married as I am.
Gosh, did Mother say that?
Yes, she did.
What's the matter, Unc?
Nothing, my boy.
Well, I guess we better close the trunk and get on down.
Well, we took the wedding dress down to Marjorie. She was a beautiful bride in it, Irene.
I'm sure she was. When do I get to see your curl tied in a blue ribbon?
I hid that. But the dress is back in the trunk. I'm waiting for Leroy's bride to use it if she wants to wear it. Why, George, I wonder what Leroy's doing now. I wish I'd asked him to phone during the evening.
I've never seen anyone so foolish about a boy.
Well, I brought him along this far in life, and I don't want to make any mistakes now. Staying out after midnight is something new for Leroy.
Well, I imagine he feels quite the little man tonight.
Yeah. You know, one good thing about it. It gives us a chance to greet the new year and each other all alone.
Throckmorton, we've already greeted each other.
Not the way we will at midnight. Irene,
Yes?
do I have to wait until the stroke of 12?
You don't want to rush New Year's, do you?
You bet. For that matter, as Bertie said, it's New Year's somewhere right now.
Oh, Throckmorton.
We could be kissing every hour on the hour. Happy New Year, Irene. Oh, my goodness, who could be at the door?
I'll get it, Miss Gildersleeve.
You don't suppose it's Leroy home already?
Leroy?
Good evening, Bertie.
Oh, Mr. Peavy.
Peavy? Oh, for...
Happy New Year, Bertie.
Happy New Year, and come in.
Isn't it a little late for Mr. Peavy?
Yeah, I hope he doesn't stick around all night.
Miss Gildersleeve's got company.
Yes. Come in, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. Good evening, Miss Henshaw.
Hello, Mr. Peavy.
I hope I'm not intruding.
Not at all.
Oh, no.
I came by to wish you a Happy New Year.
Thank you, Mr. Peavy.
It's very nice of you, Peavy. I'd like to invite you to stay and see the old year out, but you can see all we have is 2 horns.
No, that's all right. I brought my own. See?
Oh, good heavens.
Peavy, that sounds like a moose call.
Yeah, an old goose with a moose call.
Oh, my goodness. What a New Year's.
Don't worry, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'll take it along home before midnight.
Well, it was nice of you to drop by, but I was sure you'd want to be home with Mrs. Peavy at kissing time.
Well, no, I wouldn't get... you might have something there at that.
Yeah, attaboy, Peavy. Happy New Year to you both.
The great Gildersleeve will be back in just a minute. How long has it been since you've had some good, golden, natural Swiss cheese? Natural Swiss, that's the kind with the holes. Well, tomorrow, treat yourself to a package of Kraft Natural Swiss cheese. Natural Swiss that's sliced and sealed by Kraft in convenient packages. This is very special Swiss cheese with heart-of-the-cheese goodness all through it. In wheels of Natural Swiss, there's a difference between the cheese at the center or heart of the wheel and the cheese at the outside edges. The cheese at the center of the wheel has finer flavor and more tender texture. But Kraft Natural Swiss is special. Every bit of it has that wonderful heart-of-the-cheese goodness. Every bit of this Natural Swiss has perfect nut-sweet flavor and fine texture. Kraft Natural Swiss. Kraft slices this cheese and seals it for you in airtight packages. A half pound of this good cheese with the holes to the package. Get a package of Kraft Natural Swiss tomorrow. Make some Natural Swiss and rye bread sandwiches. Or have this cheese with crackers and your favorite cold drink. Enjoy it with fruit for dessert. Whichever way you serve it, you'll be delighted with this fine Natural Swiss with heart-of-the-cheese goodness all through. Kraft Natural Swiss cheese.
Well, Mr. Peavy sure teased Mr. Gildersleeve and Miss Henshaw. But he went home in time for Mr. Gildersleeve to get a little lipstick on his cheek. The midnight supper I prepared went off well. But before I was through clearing the dishes, Mr. Gildersleeve was worrying about Leroy again.
Fine supper, Bertie. Sorry Leroy missed it.
Thank you, sir.
Certainly was a good supper. I love your potato salad, Bertie, and that cheese tray.
Thank you, Miss Henshaw.
You better put a plate in the refrigerator for Leroy, Bertie. He may not have had enough to eat at the party.
Well, if I know Leroy, he started the new year right if there was any food around.
Well...
That boy won't pay any attention to girls if there's any food to make eyes at.
Well, he isn't exactly at ease around girls, like his uncle.
Yeah, he's practically a Don Juan compared to what he was a couple of years ago. It's a wonder Babs will still go out with him.
Oh?
Yeah, she invited him to his first dance. Getting Leroy to go was like pulling a burro out of a clover patch. When she came over to ask him, I had to do the accepting. Leroy stood around kicking his...
Good evening, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, hello, Babs. Come in.
Thank you. Hello, Leroy.
Hi.
Leroy, don't you know how to answer a lady when she speaks to you?
I said hi.
Well, it's nice to see you, Babs. Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
What's on your mind?
Oop. Leroy, you don't ask a lady what's on her mind?
I didn't expect an answer. I was just being sociable.
I came over to ask you something, Leroy.
Yeah? What?
Leroy, you don't say yeah. What?
Oh, why don't you talk to her?
I was only reminding you of your manners, my boy. Babs is a lady, and you're a gentleman.
Okay.
I was wondering, would you like to take me to the cotillion tomorrow night, Leroy?
To the what?
A dance, my boy. You've heard of the cotillion?
It's at Mrs. Murphy's seminary. It'll be awfully nice. I'd like to have you take me, Leroy, if you're not busy.
He'd love to go, Babs.
I would.
What time? What time, Babs?
Be at my house at 7 o'clock. Uncle Rumson will drive us over.
Yeah, but...
That's fine, and thank you very much for asking him, Babs. Leroy will be there at 7 o'clock.
See you tomorrow, then. Good night, Leroy.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Good night, Babs.
Oh, what did you want to get me into that for? For corn's sake.
Well, Leroy, this is a very important affair. And you like Babs. She's a fine little girl.
Well, she's okay, but, gee, Unc, I can't dance.
You can, too. It'll be a lot of fun. You wait. They'll have fruit punch and cookies, all you can eat.
Yeah?
You'll enjoy it.
You can't dance while you're eating, can you?
Certainly not.
How long will it last?
About 3 hours, from 8 till 11. Why?
I wonder if I can keep eating that long.
What a boy. Leroy, forget about food and concentrate on the social grace. So, you see, Irene, I practically had to push Leroy out the door on his first date.
And tonight, years later, he's out with the same girl.
Well, I have to take credit for that. And I hope to chart his future course as successfully as I did Marjorie's. He couldn't do better than Babs.
You practically have the match made, haven't you, Throckmorton?
No, Irene, I'm not picking the boy's sweetheart. It just happens, fortunately, that Babs is the only girl he's ever taken an interest in. One morning when Margie was still living at home, Leroy came down to breakfast, and we saw he'd started to grow up. All of a sudden, he was jealous of another boy. Seems he thought a boy named Tiger Davis had taken a shot.
Can we hurry up breakfast? Hi, everybody.
Good morning, Leroy.
Leroy, you're wearing your good suit.
Well, sure. What's wrong with that?
Do I smell shaving lotion on you, my boy?
I borrowed a little of yours. To get my face used to it. I may be shaving before very long.
Well, you look very nice. But do you think you should be wearing your good suit to school?
You have clean blue jeans, Leroy.
Well, jeans are okay, but I might as well get some use out of this suit. I'll be growing out of it soon.
Yes, you will. Leroy, why do you keep watching the window?
I don't want to miss Babs when she starts for school.
What's this?
You're going to walk to school with Babs?
Well, get with her, Marge. The girl has books to carry.
Oh,
she's coming out of her house now. Excuse me?
Yeah, I suppose so, my boy.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, Leroy.
now I've seen everything.
Wait a minute, Babs.
Oh, hello, Leroy.
I'm walking you to school.
You are?
Here, give me your books.
You really want to carry my book?
Well, you can't carry your own books. The guy carries the books. Get with it.
All right.
How about meeting you after school and carrying them back?
Why, Leroy.
And how about coming over tonight and doing homework together?
Leroy, what's happened to you? Leroy, are you using perfume?
Shaving lotion.
Shaving lotion? Oh, Leroy, why don't you act your age?
That's just what I'm doing. What's so funny? What are you laughing at?
You're acting so silly, just like that Tiger Davis.
You mean you don't like Tiger Davis?
He thinks he's so smart.
But I thought...
He isn't my type at all.
He isn't?
You don't have to be jealous of him. Shall we cross the street?
Okay. What are you stopping for?
Leroy, boys old enough to use shaving lotion usually help girls across the street.
What? Oh, yeah, sure. Let me take your hand.
Thank you.
It's okay. What kind of boys are your type, if Tiger isn't?
I like boys who are, well, more natural.
Like who?
Well, right now, you're sort of natural.
I don't feel natural.
Leroy,
Yeah, Babs?
we're across the street and you're still holding my hand.
I know.
Those children over there are giggling at us.
I'll let them giggle. They'll grow up someday. Come on, Babs. Don't pay any attention to those juvenile adolescents.
Quite a milestone in the boy's life, Irene.
Wouldn't it be strange if their friendship someday blossomed into real romance?
It could be. You know what they say about childhood sweethearts.
Throckmorton, you're the only Cupid I know who smokes cigars.
Well, I know Cupid. But someday it may take a well-directed arrow to get Leroy off the dime.
Few more New Year's Eves and he'll be phoning you like Marjorie, sending greetings from his family.
Yeah. Happy New Year from Leroy and Babs.
and baby makes 3. I see you have it all planned.
Well, I'd like to see Leroy as happily married as Marjorie is. That boy should be getting home.
You're getting sleepy. I'm afraid sitting up for New Year's is too much for you.
Oh, no. It's been a fine evening. Excuse me.
I better go to the kitchen and see if Bertie has some more coffee.
Yeah, I guess we could use a cup while we're waiting for Leroy. Well, like Irene says, a few more years and Leroy just might be married. My work with the boy won't be done until that's accomplished. I wish his ears didn't stick out so much. Yet they say love is blind. Someday Babs may say I do, if she can get Leroy to ask her.
Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, Babs?
Where's Leroy?
Hasn't he shown up yet?
No. The minister's waiting and the church is full of people.
Oh, my goodness. I wonder if he got cold feet and lit out across country in Dickie's old car.
What'll we do, Mr. Gildersleeve? What'll we do?
Yeah, Babs, don't get nervous. Stop pulling the pedals off your corsage. Oh, wait till I get that boy home.
You won't get him home, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'm taking him home with me.
I hope so. Here comes Peavy. He has the ring. He might know where Leroy is. Peavy!
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. Babs?
Peavy, where's Leroy? You're the best man.
No, Leroy's the best man. He's getting the girl.
Mr. Peavy, he can't leave me waiting at the church.
Yeah, Leroy's a little nervous. He tied his tie and drove down here and then discovered he forgot to put on a shirt.
Oh. You what you
Ah!
Yes,
Wake up!
Wake
up! Wake up! Here I am!
Oh, Leroy. Young man, you're late for your wedding.
What wedding? I just got back from the party. Happy New Year!
Party? New Year? Oh, yes.
What's this about a wedding?
Yes, never mind, my boy. I thought I had him married. Now I have to go through all that again.
The great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just 30 seconds. Take rye bread and natural Swiss cheese for sandwiches, add your favorite cold drink, and there's a snack. An old favorite snack with special goodness when you use Kraft Natural Swiss cheese. This good golden cheese with the holes has heart of the cheese goodness in every bite. Kraft slices it and seals it airtight in half-pound packages. Get a package tomorrow. Enjoy this wonderful cheese with the special goodness, Kraft Natural Swiss cheese.
Folks, the new year is close at hand, and the Kraft Foods Company and the Great Gildersleeve Show wish to take this opportunity to wish all our friends the best of everything in the coming year. Until next week, good night.
Now play You Bet Your Life with Groucho on the NBC Radio Network.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. Great Gildersleeve is brought to you, transcribed by the Kraft Foods Company. And tonight, Kraft, makers and importers of the world's favorite cheese, wants to tell you about a real triumph of cheese making. It's Kraft Natural Swiss cheese, already sliced and sealed by Kraft for your convenience. Natural Swiss cheese is the kind with the holes, and Kraft Natural Swiss has what we call heart of the cheese goodness all through. We're sure this delicious cheese in handy packages will become one of your favorite foods. Try it soon. Kraft Natural Swiss cheese.
For a man who never got married, my uncle, the great Gildersleeve, sure pretends to know a lot about women. He thinks he's a real lady killer. Should have heard him when he came home the other night.
Hello, Leroy.
Hi, Unc. Hey, your hat looks a little big for you.
Yeah, I just got a fresh haircut, my boy.
Oh. A little short, isn't it?
Well, I'm working up to a crew cut. Yeah, I don't think I'm too old for it. Do you?
I'd rather not answer that.
What?
Why don't you leave your hair alone and get a crew cut for your mustache?
Yes.
Well, think how much shorter you could smoke your cigars.
Leroy, you may not appreciate my sartorial splendor, but the ladies do.
One of them must have gotten a whiff of your hair tonic. She just phoned.
You?
Miss Henshaw. She wants you to call her.
Good. Yeah, I'll call her in a little while. We have a date tonight.
That you home, Miss Gildersleeve?
Yes, Bertie.
I thought that was you. Leroy, did you tell him?
Yeah.
You tell me what?
Leroy told me to remind him to tell you that Miss Henshaw told him to tell you to call her.
He told me.
That's good. Ain't you gonna call her?
Yeah, there's no hurry, Bertie. She'll still be sitting by the phone.
Yes.
Get him.
Well, Miss Henshaw depends on me to take her out. Doesn't date anybody else. She'll be waiting.
Gosh, a guy gets a haircut and it goes to his head.
Miss Gildersleeve sure is confident, Leroy. I wonder if this is going to be the year.
The year for what?
The year when you and Miss Henshaw get married.
Bertie, I have no thoughts of marriage.
No, sir, but she might. Of course, it ain't leap year.
Any year you get married, you start leaping.
Bertie, my relationship with Miss Henshaw is purely platonic.
Yes, sir.
Is that good?
Very good. It means we enjoy being together, but there's nothing serious between us. Of course, I can't help it if she prefers my company to that of any other man.
Oh, no, sir.
Unc, you're so modest.
It's true, my boy. I rate A1 with Irene.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, I guess I better phone her and see what's on her mind.
Hello?
Yeah, Irene. This is Throckmorton.
Oh, hello, Throckmorton.
Leroy said you called. I hope you haven't been sitting there waiting for the phone to ring.
Oh, I haven't been sitting, waiting.
You haven't?
No, I've been rushing madly getting my apartment straight.
For our date tonight?
No, that's why I phoned you earlier, Throckmorton. I'm afraid I can't see you tonight.
You're kidding.
I am not.
Well, don't be offended. I just thought since nobody else asked you out.
Well,
You were about to say?
I was about to say I'm meeting somebody at the train.
Oh. A man?
Very definitely a man.
Well, didn't know.
It's time you realize that there are other men.
Well, I know, but I hadn't thought of an out-of-towner. Old friend or some upstart?
I guess you'll never know.
What?
I'd intended inviting you to meet him, but perhaps it's better if you don't.
No, Irene, what's he like? Who is he? Boyfriend?
Goodbye, Throckmorton.
But, Irene? Irene!
What's the matter, Unc? Lose your connection?
I think I lost my girl. Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for the water commissioner this evening?
Nothing, Peavy. I just thought I'd loaf a while with you.
Very well, but you didn't have to put on all that hair tonic just for me.
Well, I had a date with Irene, but she's meeting somebody at the train.
She throw you over for the engineer?
Peavy, that's ridiculous.
I don't know. She might like a well-traveled man.
Yes. Irene was very mysterious about this newcomer, Peavy.
You don't say.
Yeah. Just when you think you can count on a girl, she throws you a curve.
Well, if a girl doesn't have a curve, she'd better have an angle.
Irene could be just trying to make me jealous, but it won't work. I don't care who he is. Who do you suppose he is, Peavy?
She give you any hint?
She just said it was a man.
Well, that sounds like a hint to me.
Why, George, I'm not going to stand idly by while some stranger comes to town and takes my girl. I had the date first. Yeah, I think I'll stop by there this evening.
My.
Well, I've been thinking about it, and perhaps I owe Irene an apology. She probably thinks I was prying too much. I'll just go over there and see for myself.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Of course, I'll take her a box of candy.
Oh, that's a good idea.
What have you got, Peavy?
Well, from what you've said, I'd say you owe her about a $7.50 apology.
Peavy, that looks like a 5-pound box.
Well, you may need a lot of candy to make up with her.
Oh?
If you keep popping bonbons in her mouth, she can't argue back.
Well, I'll take it, Peavy.
Well?
And I think I'll take her some flowers. I'll show that guy.
Well, if you have more money to spend, take her some of my perfume.
Why perfume?
Because I don't sell flowers.
Oh.
Besides, you might say perfume is made from flowers with the juice mashed out, and it lasts longer.
Look, with that new fellow hanging around, I want something in her apartment that'll remind her of me.
Well, how about a bottle of distilled water?
Goodbye, Peavy. Irene's home. I see lights in the parlor. By George, I don't mind barging right in on that Batinsky she's with. And I'm loaded. Candy, flowers, perfume, and a gift certificate from Hogan Brothers. Yeah, I'll crowd that meddler right out of her apartment.
Why, Throckmorton.
Hello, Irene.
I didn't expect to see you.
Well.
Are you on your way home from the market?
No. These packages are for you.
For me? Well, come on in, Throckmorton.
Thank you. I see you have company.
Yes, someone I want you to meet.
Hello there. Hello. You're a little older than I thought you'd be.
Throckmorton, this is my father.
Your father? Oh, he looks very young for your father.
Make up your mind, boy.
Well, Irene, these are for you. All of them.
Oh, thank you.
What's your last name?
It's Mr. Gildersleeve, Father.
I'm very happy to know you, Mr. Henshaw.
Why don't you two sit down and talk while I put these flowers in a vase? They're lovely, Throckmorton.
Glad you like them, Irene.
A lot of packages, Mr. Gildersleeve. Aren't you a little late for Christmas?
Oh, no. I gave your daughter more than this on Christmas.
No. What did you say your first name is, son?
Throckmorton.
I'll try to remember that.
Good.
Oh, care to have one of my daughter's bonbons, son? I'll open them up.
Well, thank you.
Hey, with price tag still on it.
That Peavy.
Hey, $7.50. Are you sweet on my daughter, or don't you know what to do with your money?
Right, George, Mr. Henshaw, I like you. You're all right.
And I like you too, son. Have a bonbon.
While I'm showing you around town, Mr. Henshaw, I want you to meet a good friend of mine.
You seem to be a pretty big man in town, son.
Well, they can't do without a water commissioner, you know. Like I always say, nobody can take a bath without me.
Very good.
Hello, Peavy.
Well, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Hey, Mr. Peavy, I want you to meet Dad Henshaw.
Dad? My.
Glad to know you, Mr. Peavy.
Well, I'm happy to know you, too.
This is the gentleman Irene met at the train.
You don't say.
Yeah. Peavy, see if you can fix up Mr. Henshaw with a box of cigars.
Very well.
Make it Coronas.
Well, the last Corona I had was given to me by the governor.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'll have to get back to the office now, Mr. Henshaw. Care to come along with me to the city hall and meet the mayor?
Well, I want to meet him, but why don't I sit a spell and talk to Mr. Peavy?
Yeah, just you say.
Well, happy to have you.
Take care of him, Peavy. I have to get back on the job. See you later, Mr. Henshaw.
So long, son.
Goodbye, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Goodbye, Peavy.
Yeah, there goes a clever fellow, Mr. Peavy.
Well, let me say I'm glad you got that impression.
Yes. He's been mighty nice to my daughter and me. Of course, I can see through him.
How's that?
If I ever saw a man in love, he's the pigeon.
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve may be a pigeon, but I don't think he's ready to have his wings clipped.
Well, it's about time a nice man like him settled down with a nice girl like my daughter.
Well, Miss Henshaw is a fine young woman, all right.
Yes, sirree. Oh, say, you know, Mr. Peavy, while I'm here for the rabbit hunting, I might just attend a wedding.
Well, I didn't know your daughter was considering Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, she's never been in any hurry.
Well, neither is Mr. Gildersleeve.
Then it's time I lit a fire under them. Yes, sure. Throckmorton has a good job, the respect of the community.
Yes.
He looks hale and hearty. Yes, he'd make a fine son-in-law.
Well, that could be. But they do say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Oh, humbug. I'll prod him up the aisle before he knows what's happening.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Great Gildersleeve will be back in just a minute. One of the most delicious sandwiches in the world is also one of the simplest. It's that old favorite Swiss cheese on rye. And here's how to make that sandwich more delicious than ever. Just use Kraft Natural Swiss cheese. Natural Swiss cheese is that old familiar kind with the holes, you know. But now this natural Swiss cheese comes sliced and sealed by Kraft. And most important of all, comes with real heart-of-the-cheese goodness. In the wheels of natural Swiss, the cheese at the center or heart of the wheel has a better flavor and finer texture than the cheese at the outside edges. But Kraft Natural Swiss has this heart-of-the-cheese goodness in every single bite. Perfect nut-sweet flavor, fine, tender texture. Kraft Natural Swiss comes sliced and sealed by Kraft, sealed airtight in handy half-pound packages. And it comes without rind, so there's never any waste or dried edges. You'll want to keep this delicious natural Swiss cheese on hand for all kinds of sandwiches. Kraft Natural Swiss is wonderful with different kinds of crackers, too. And for a delightful change some night, serve this good cheese with your favorite fruit for dessert. Tomorrow, get Kraft Natural Swiss cheese with heart-of-the-cheese goodness all through for your eating pleasure, sliced and sealed by Kraft for your convenience.
Well, let's get back to Mr. Gildersleeve. He sure was glad when the gentleman visiting Miss Irene Henshaw turned out to be her father. Bertie could see the change in him. And because it was his girlfriend's father, Mr. Gildersleeve just couldn't do enough for him.
He couldn't thank me enough for the cigars, Bertie.
No, sir?
Fine old gentleman. He thinks a lot of me, too.
Oh, I'm sure he does. I don't know who you're trying to impress most, Mr. Henshaw or his daughter.
Just being civil.
Yes, sir. Is it going to be a civil ceremony or a church wedding?
No, Bertie, you know there's nothing further from my mind than marriage.
Oh, yes, sir.
And he's not thinking of me as a son-in-law.
No, sir. Then you just hand him them dinners and cigars, hoping he'll hand you the hand of Miss Henshaw?
Yeah, of course not.
Anybody home?
We are, Leroy.
Hello, my boy.
Hello, I'm starved.
Leroy, what's the matter with you?
I need nourishment. Food, sandwiches, milk, cheese, ice cream, root beer float.
That's enough, Leroy.
But look, I've been using my brain at school. All my energy went out the top of my head. I'm weak and I'm wobbly. Please help me to the refrigerator.
Leroy, stop clowning.
That's boy. I'll get you something, Leroy.
Swell. I feel better already.
Yes. Leroy, you're always eating. Bring me something too, Bertie.
Yeah? I'll wheel you in the refrigerator.
Hey, somebody asked about you at school today.
Miss Henshaw?
No, her father. He dropped by and I talked to him during recess.
Oh, that's so? I hope you made a good impression on him.
Yeah. So did you.
Well, I know he likes me.
I'll say. He's calling you son already.
Now, Leroy, he doesn't mean anything by that.
I didn't play the cold chicken.
Oh, boy.
Thanks, Bertie.
Hey, Bertie, did you know Mr. Henshaw is calling Unc son?
Uh-oh. Mr. Gildersleeve don't think so, but it won't be long before son changes to son-in-law.
That's ridiculous.
What are you going to call him, Unc? Dad? Pop? Father?
Now, Leroy.
What do I have to call him? Grandpa?
Young man, I just explained to Bertie that Irene and I aren't serious about each other. His calling me son doesn't mean a thing.
Yeah, so you explained that. But there's only one thing that's clear.
What's that?
It won't be long before son changes to son-in-law.
What Bertie and Leroy said isn't going to worry me for a minute. Mr. Henshaw just likes me because... Well, because. Why does he like me? Yeah, the old gentleman spent some time talking to Peavy. It won't hurt to stop in and find out if he had any diabolical ideas such as marriage. Hello, Peavy.
Well, hello, son.
Oop.
What can I do for you today?
You can stop calling me son.
I suppose that's a privilege reserved for Mr. Henshaw.
Peavy, do you really think he wants me to marry his daughter?
Well, Mr. Henshaw's of the old school, Mr. Gildersleeve. He seems to feel that if you're monopolizing his daughter's time, you're under a certain obligation.
Oh, if Irene knew he felt that way, she'd laugh.
Yeah, wonder who's going to have the last laugh.
Well, this thing has gone far enough. I'm going up there and set Mr. Henshaw straight.
I'd be diplomatic about it, Mr. Gildersleeve. There's a man with a steel blue eye and a set jaw. Old school.
You told me that, Peavy.
I'd remember it.
Of course, I don't want to offend him.
That's what I say.
Yeah, I'll just go over there this afternoon and let him see by example that Irene and I have a very platonic relationship.
Well, it's now or never.
You have any other suggestions how I can break the news to him delicately? Let him know I don't want to be his son-in-law?
Well, this time you might give him a loaded cigar.
What a suggestion.
Hello?
That you, Irene?
Yes, Father.
I thought I'd better ring you up and let you know I won't be home for a little while.
Oh?
I thought I'd drop in on Throckmorton down at the water department.
He's on his way here.
At 4 or 5 o'clock? Courting during office hours. Well.
Why don't you come on home, Father?
No, I think I'll make myself conveniently scarce.
Don't be silly, Father.
Don't you be silly, Irene. Throckmorton's a clever fellow. Fine boy. Yes, fine boy.
Well, at least come home in time for dinner. I may ask Throckmorton to stay.
Good idea. I'll be along after I stop by Peavy's. Might talk him into going rabbit hunting tomorrow. I brought my gun along. Might as well use it.
All right, Father.
And you be good to Throckmorton. He's a good boy.
All right, all right.
Goodbye, daughter.
Goodbye. He's certainly gone on Throckmorton. Well, he's been very nice to Father. I guess I should show my appreciation by being unusually nice to him. Just a minute. Let's see if my face is on straight. Wonder why he wanted to come by this afternoon. Come in, Throckmorton.
Hello, Irene. Is your father home yet?
No, he just phoned. He won't be home until dinner.
Well, perhaps I should come back this evening.
Who did you come to see? Me or my father?
You. But I want your father to see me when I'm seeing you. Yeah, I mean...
That doesn't make any sense, but don't rush away. We'd like to have you stay for dinner.
Yeah, thanks, Irene, but I don't think I should.
Of course you should. Here, let me take your hat and coat.
Well, can't I just leave them on a chair here by the door?
I'll hang them here in the closet.
She's lovely this afternoon. I'll have to remain aloof, detached, impersonal.
Now, why don't we sit here on the couch by the fire?
Yeah, you sit on the couch, Irene. I'll take this straight-back chair here.
All right. Trying to improve your posture?
No. Well, what do we talk about?
I don't know. We've never had trouble finding something to talk about.
No, indeed. Nice day, isn't it?
No. It's dreary and looks like snow.
Well, somewhere the sun's shining.
Well, if we can't find anything to talk about, we might turn on the television set.
There's nothing on at this hour, is there?
No, but we can turn it on and watch it snow. Why are you acting so strangely, Throckmorton?
You me?
Uh-huh.
Well, you had a lot on my mind lately. A little nervous, I guess.
Trouble at the water department?
No, not at the water department.
Oh. Well, if we aren't going to talk, I think I'll go play the piano.
Good idea. Let's have some music.
They say it's good therapy for the nerves.
Do you have any new music, like Doggy in the Window?
I'm afraid not. Most of these are years and years old. I think this is the last song I bought.
Well, that's one of my favorites.
I'm in the mood for love.
I didn't know she sang.
Simply because you're near me. Funny, but when you're near me, I'm in the mood for love.
Irene, you're wonderful. Mind if I sit with you on the piano bench?
Not at all.
Don't let me stop you. Go ahead.
All right. Heaven is in your eyes, bright as the stars we're under. And is it any wonder I'm in the mood for love?
So am I, Irene.
Why, Throckmorton.
Yeah, I can be aloof after Dad comes. Irene.
It's cold out there.
Oh, hello, Father.
What's going on?
Well...
You look flushed, son. Too warm in here for you?
It's getting warm.
Well, now that you're home, Father, I'd better go see how the dinner's coming.
Fine, daughter.
You two can talk. Throckmorton could hardly wait for you to get home.
Is that so? Well, here I am, boy. Son, what do you want to talk to me about?
Well,
Don't be bashful. Don't be bashful. I thought you'd be speaking to me before I left. Daughter sings well, doesn't she?
Yes, indeed.
I noticed you were sitting real close so you could hear every word.
Yeah. Well, now, Mr. Henshaw.
Go ahead and speak your piece. I got here as quick as I could.
But...
I came in a taxi, in fact, and the driver had the radio going all about a fella jilting a girl.
Oh?
Oh, it's a sad story. Looked bad for the fella, too. Scoundrel.
What happened to him?
Well, we were home before the end of the news, and I wasn't going to ride around the block at 30 cents a mile to find out.
Yeah, I see.
But if I'd been the girl's father, do you know what I'd have done?
Don't tell me.
Oh, wait, go ahead. You were going to ask me something.
Well...
Oh, before you do, let me get a cigar for both of us. I'll be right back, son.
Just like Peavy said. He thinks I'm obligated, all right. I'll get my hat out of the closet and sneak out. Zeke, he's got a shotgun in the closet.
Going someplace, son?
Yeah, I just remembered. Have to go to the depot.
Meeting a train?
No, I'm taking one.
The great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just 30 seconds. When folks drop by for a visit, make them feel welcome with something good to eat. What? Well, how about their favorite beverage and a plate full of crisp crackers and Kraft natural Swiss cheese? This good cheese with the holes has heart of the cheese goodness in every bite. And for your convenience, Kraft natural Swiss comes sliced and sealed airtight in half-pound packages. Enjoy this delicious cheese often for a variety of snacks and sandwiches. Get Kraft natural Swiss cheese tomorrow.
Hello, Bertie.
Evening, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Leroy practicing the piano, is he?
Yes, sir. You going out with Miss Henshaw this evening?
No, Bertie, her father's still here.
Yes, sir. When you found out he wanted you for a son-in-law, you must have really skedaddled.
Well, you know what they say, Bertie. He who fights and runs away will live to fight another day.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my goodness, listen to that boy. C-sharp, Leroy, C-sharp.
I'm trying, Unc. I'm trying.
Oh, what a waste of money giving you music lessons.
Yeah.
You've been studying for years, and you can't play a single piece.
I can so. I've been practicing this one.
Oh?
I'm in the mood for love.
Young man.
Simply because you're near me.
Oh, good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Willard Waterman and is an NBC Radio Network production. The show is written by John Elliott and Andy White and is transcribed. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Kathy Lewis, Lillian Randolph, Will Wright, Jack Meakin, and Dick LeGrand. Musical compositions by Jack Meakin. This is John Heaston saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next week and every week for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
There are two kinds of delicious Kraft prepared mustard. Mild Kraft mustard so smooth and delicately spiced, and Kraft mustard with snappy horseradish added. And whichever you prefer, remember, when you add a little mustard, you add a lot of tang. Try it on cold sandwiches, hamburgers, frankfurters, and cold cuts. Enjoy the wonderful sauces you can make for hot meat and vegetable courses with Kraft prepared mustard. Keep both kinds on hand and keep the whole family happy. Get mild Kraft mustard and Kraft mustard with snappy horseradish added at your favorite food store.
Now play You Bet Your Life with Groucho on the NBC Radio Network.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you, transcribed by the Kraft Foods Company. And tonight, Kraft makers and importers of the world's favorite cheese, wants to tell you about a real triumph of cheese making. It's Kraft Natural Swiss Cheese, already sliced and sealed by Kraft for your convenience. Natural Swiss cheese is the kind with the holes, and Kraft Natural Swiss Cheese has what we call heart of the cheese goodness all through. We're sure this delicious cheese in handy packages will become one of your favorite foods. Try it soon. Kraft Natural Swiss Cheese.
When a girl is school principal in a town the size of Summerfield, there aren't many eligible escorts she can depend on. So perhaps I should count Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, the local water commissioner, a blessing. And I would, except it's getting so I can't even depend on him. Oh, he's late again. There he is. Well, he can just wait until I powder my nose for the third time. All right. I'm coming.
Hello, Irene.
Well, hello. Come in, Throckmorton.
Thank you. Why didn't you answer the door? You kept me waiting, standing out there in the cold.
You don't know how close you are being out in the cold.
Hey, what's that?
Do you realize you're a half hour late?
Well, I was downtown and wanted to phone you.
So?
I stopped at the corner phone booth, but I didn't have a dime. I didn't want to lose the booth, so I gave a fellow 50 cents to get me some change, and he never came back.
Throckmorton, you're so gullible.
Yeah. I should have been suspicious when he stopped and asked me for a cup of coffee.
Oh, good heavens.
But I'm here at long last.
You may not last long. What about last night?
I had to work late at the office. I just forgot to call you. I know it was a terrible thing to do.
I get it. After water, I come first.
No,
And last Monday, you said you were going to pick me up promptly at 4:30. I passed up 3 rides and finally had to walk.
Sorry, but I thought I'd explained. I was helping a little old lady home with her packages.
Where did she live? Cheyenne, Wyoming?
Irene, it'll never happen again. I promise.
If it does, it'll be the last time.
Irene.
Don't grin at me, you big moose.
Well, better late than never. A moose in your parlor is worth 2 in the bush.
I'll have you know, I don't have to beat the bushes for dates. Clarence Olson has been calling me every day for weeks.
You, that pushy intern. Every time I turn my back, he's ringing your doorbell.
He's a very nice man. And you'd better watch it, or I'll give a certain city official back to the city.
Yeah, now, Irene, you're not pretty when you pout. You smile now. Be your gorgeous self.
You aren't going to talk me out of my nasty mood. I've been working on it.
You will.
One more offense and we're through. Kaput. Finished.
Yeah, I get the idea.
I never keep you waiting.
Well, let's get on to the movie.
Oh, wait till I fix my hair and change my purse.
Hey. Oh, my goodness. Irene was pretty cool to me last night. By George, I'll have to watch it from now on. Say, look at those fancy compacts in Peavy's window. Think I'll buy one of those and take it to Irene as a peace offering tonight. Hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you today?
Peavy, are those good compacts in your window?
Well, they're good and compact.
Well, I can use one of those.
They're for ladies, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I know.
The compacts contain powder, rouge, and a mirror. I'm sure you don't want to look in the mirror.
All right, Peavy.
If you're interested in improving your appearance, I have an eyebrow pencil for your mustache. Or a pair of scissors if you care to get rid of it.
I'm not interested in improving my appearance.
Well, everybody to his own taste, said the old lady as she kissed the cow.
Oh. I just came in here to buy a compact for Miss Henshaw.
Very well.
She's been a little upset with me for keeping her waiting when we have a date.
Must be something in the air. You know, Mrs. Peavy and I had a little tip.
Oh?
Maybe I should take her a gift.
Well, take her a compact, Peavy.
Now, this is a real feud. I think I should take her a whole vanity chest.
What's the matter with you and Mrs. Peavy?
There's nothing the matter with me. It's Mrs. Peavy. There's nothing to laugh at. We're getting a new parrot.
I thought you had a parrot.
We have, but Mrs. Peavy thought it needed a companion because it looked so sad.
Yeah, I see.
And I told her when we bought it was a sad-looking parrot.
You don't want another one in the house, huh?
Well, it isn't that, but Mrs. Peavy wants to name it after one of her relatives. I told her we had enough funny-looking visitors from her side of the family without getting one with feathers.
You told her that?
And I considered it quite amusing, but she didn't. Then we got into personalities, and I put my foot down.
What'd she do?
She put hers down on top of it. And then one word led to another.
What else did you say?
I only got in one word, and then I lit out for the pharmacy.
Yeah, that's too bad, Peavy. First thing you know, you and Mrs. Peavy won't be speaking.
We're hardly speaking now.
Oh, my goodness.
I'd like to get things smoothed out, but I'm not going to be the first to make the move. Will you be kind enough to answer the phone, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Me? Well, this is your drugstore, Peavy.
Yeah, but I think that's Mrs. Peavy on the other end. She might just want to hang up on me again.
Does she do that?
Twice this morning.
Well, I'll talk to her and fix up everything.
Don't you try to fix anything, Mr. Gildersleeve. Just answer the phone.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing, Peavy. Hello, Peavy's Pharmacy. Oh, hello, Mrs. Peavy. Now, don't hang up. This is Commissioner Gildersleeve. Yes, he's here, but I'd like to talk to you as a friend. Sorry to hear you and Peavy have a slight misunderstanding. You're all right. Big misunderstanding. But my suggestion is... But... I am not a Budinsky. She hung up on me.
Yeah, you sure fixed things.
Now, Peavy, I was only trying to iron out your problem.
Well, you iron out your own problems, and I'll iron out mine, Budinsky.
Hey, how do I get into these things? Hello, Leroy.
You're home early.
Yeah, I have a dinner date.
How about a game of basketball?
Oh, I haven't time, my boy.
Just a game of 21?
No.
11?
Sorry.
7? 5? 1?
Leroy, I haven't time to shoot baskets.
Want to pass me the ball so I can shoot one?
I told you I have a dinner date.
Dinner? The sun hasn't even gone down.
Well, it'll never come up again for me if I'm late at Irene's.
Miss Henshaw read the riot act to you, huh?
Well, I just don't dare be late again.
Don't let her run over you, Unc. Why don't you get revenge?
Revenge?
Sure. Take me out of school. I'm willing to make the sacrifice.
Yes. Sorry, I'm in a hurry, Leroy.
That's okay.
Hello, Bertie.
Hello, Miss Gildersleeve. You home early.
Yes. Bertie, do you have my blue serge ready?
Yes, I just took the spots out of it.
Well, I'll go put it on.
Mr. Gildersleeve, if you put it on now, you smell like a gas station.
Oh?
Yes, sir. Somebody's liable to drive up to you and say, fill her up.
Well, I'll have to take that chance, Bertie. I can't be late at Irene's. She's already upset with me about past performances.
Yes, sir. But if you just take her out to dinner, you got a lot of time.
Yes, but I've been doing some thinking. I better drop by Mr. Peavy's house.
Is Peavy sick?
No. Oh, he and Mrs. Peavy had a little spat, and maybe I made it worse when I talked to Mrs. Peavy over the phone.
Yes, sir.
So I think I'll run by on my way to Irene's and straighten it out.
Yes, sir. Mr. and Miss Peavy ain't getting along?
It's just a family squabble.
Oh, a family squabble.
What family squabble?
This doesn't concern you, Leroy.
Who does it concern?
The family concern. When I saw him this morning, Bertie, he said he left the house in a huff.
Yes.
Who left the house in a huff?
Leroy, I'm talking to Bertie.
Well, talk to me. Who left in a huff?
Stop interrupting me. Anyway, Bertie, when I was there, the phone rang.
Yes, sir.
Whose phone?
and neither one would talk to the other.
Will neither one give in?
Well, tell me either one of the neither ones, and I'll guess the other one.
Confounded Leroy.
Well, what goes on?
Never mind. I'm trying to straighten out an argument that started with two parrots. Now, excuse me, I have to go put on my blue serge.
He's putting on his blue serge to referee a fight between two parrots?
Yeah, I'm not due at Irene's for half an hour. I have plenty of time to talk to Mrs. Peavy and talk her out of her little feud with Peavy. Yeah, I'll park here in the alley. If she sees my car, she may not let me in. Maybe I shouldn't even go to the door. Yeah, the outside basement door is open. Why don't I go down and pretend I'm inspecting the hot water heater? Yeah, she'll hear me, come down to see what's going on, and I can casually bring up the subject. You're sly, Gildersleeve. Dark down here. Stuffy, too. Smells like gasoline. Oh, that's my suit. Oop. Shovel. I must be close to the coal bin. I'm in it. I'm going to a lot of trouble, but Peavy's a good friend, and I feel a little obligated to get them on good terms again. What's that? Oh, Mrs. Peavy's coming outside. I've attracted her attention already. I wish I knew where the light switch is, so it looked like I'm busy with the hot water heater. Hey, what's going on? She closed the basement door. She locked me in. Oop, where's she going? Mrs. Peavy! Mrs. Peavy! She's getting in her car. She's driving away. Mrs. Peavy, come back! Mrs. Peavy, stop! I've got a date! I've got a date with a coal bin.
The great Gildersleeve will be back in just a minute. The world's happiest hostess is the hostess with no snack problems. She's the hostess who knows exactly what she's going to serve and how. And what she serves for that snack might well be Kraft Natural Swiss Cheese with crackers and her guests' favorite beverages. Kraft Natural Swiss Cheese is a delicious treat. What's more, this natural Swiss cheese comes already sliced and sealed by Kraft, so it's quick and easy to serve. Natural Swiss cheese is that old favorite kind with the holes, you know. And now Kraft brings you natural Swiss cheese with exceptional goodness. Heart of the cheese goodness all through it. What does that mean? Well, in wheels of natural Swiss, the cheese at the center or heart of the wheel has a better flavor and finer texture than the cheese at the outside edges of the wheel. But Kraft Natural Swiss has this perfect nut-sweet flavor and fine, tender texture all the way through it. Kraft Natural Swiss cheese has heart of the cheese goodness in every bite. This fine-tasting cheese comes sliced and sealed by Kraft, sealed airtight in handy half-pound packages, so there are never any dried edges. And Kraft Natural Swiss has no rind, so there's no waste. Make it a habit to keep a package or two of this exceptionally good natural Swiss cheese on hand for all kinds of snacks. Enjoy it in sandwiches, and surprise the folks at dinner some night soon and serve it with fruit for dessert. Get Kraft Natural Swiss cheese with heart of the cheese goodness all through for your eating pleasure. Sliced and sealed by Kraft for your convenience.
Well, where is that Throckmorton? Oh, he's late again. I thought I made it clear to that man. The next time would be the last time. Let me at the phone. I'll spell it out in such simple, stark terms it'll get through to even his brain, wherever he hides it.
I'll get it.
Okay, Bertie.
Mr. Gildersleeve's residence.
Bertie, This is Miss Henshaw.
Oh, hello, Miss Henshaw.
Is Mr. Gildersleeve there?
No, ma'am. He's with you.
He is not.
Come again?
He's supposed to be here, but I haven't seen him.
Well, he was anxious to get over there. I know that.
Oh?
I cleaned his suit, and he was in a hurry to get there, even if the suit smelled like gasoline.
Well, he's vanished into thin air.
Maybe he lit a cigar and his suit blew up.
Sorry I didn't beat the cigar to it.
Yes, ma'am. You want to leave a message for the water commissioner?
I just want to leave the water commissioner high and dry.
Yes, ma'am. I'll give him the message. You don't mind if I reword it, do you?
I don't care what you tell him, as long as he understands that I never want to see him again.
Yes, ma'am.
Goodbye, Bertie.
Goodbye, Miss Henshaw. Poor Mr. Gildersleeve.
What's wrong, Bertie?
Mr. Gildersleeve ain't showed up, and Miss Henshaw's boiling like a tea kettle.
Yeah?
That poor Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, he should have been there long ago.
Well, he said he was going to stop at Mr. Peavy's house. Maybe it's taking him a long time to patch up that quarrel.
Maybe Mrs. Peavy hit him over the head with a skillet.
Well, if Mr. Gildersleeve laid out, I know he's glad he's got on his blue serge.
Maybe we better call Mrs. Peavy, Bertie.
That's a good idea. Poor Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah, I hear the phone ringing upstairs. Well, I can't answer it down here in the basement. What a helpless feeling. Peavy's would be the cautious type. Lock every door in the house. Yeah, Mrs. Peavy probably just went to the market. I wonder how Irene is taking this. Zeke. Pretty dark down here, but I can see the handwriting on the wall. She'll ditch me for Olson Shore. I wish it was a bigger light bulb down here. Maybe if I open the furnace door, I can see better. Oh! Hit my head on the furnace pipe. Better sit down before I get knocked down. Oop! And they call this soft coal. Oh, well. Peavy has to come home to dinner soon.
Gosh, you mean Mrs. Peavy hasn't seen Unc?
No, Leroy, I just talked to her. She's at the hairdresser's. I'm taking her out to dinner tonight.
Yeah? You're living it up, huh?
Well, Mrs. Peavy and I had a little misunderstanding, so I'm treating her to a permanent wave, a seafood dinner, and a night on the town. We won't be home until late.
Maybe Unc should give Miss Henshaw a permanent wave.
How's that?
She sure is sore at him for not showing up.
Good evening, Mr. Peavy.
Well, hello, Dr. Olson.
Leroy?
Hi. Have you seen anything of Unc, Dr. Olson?
No. As a matter of fact, I haven't been looking for him.
Well, have you checked the office, Leroy?
Now, he isn't at the office. I think I'll go back home and see if Bertie's heard from him.
Yeah, don't worry. He'll turn up.
Sure. Unc's too big to lose.
Good night, Leroy.
Night.
Night.
Gildersleeve lost, I hope.
Well, he's unaccounted for at the moment.
Say, do you suppose he's so afraid I'll steal his girl he jumped off the dam into the reservoir?
Well, I doubt if he jumped off the dam into the reservoir. The ice is a foot thick.
Oh, Gildersleeve could break through.
You don't seem to be too concerned about Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, I am. Why, if anything should happen to Throckmorton, I'd simply die. Laughing.
He speaks well of you, too.
I'm only kidding, Mr. Peavy.
Oh, my, yeah.
To show you how worried I am about poor Throckmorton, I'm going to conduct a one-man search for him.
You don't say.
Yes. In the first place I'm going to look is at Irene's apartment.
Well, he had a date with her.
If he isn't there, I'll take Irene to dinner at the Summerfield Grill and look for him there.
I doubt if he'd appreciate that.
Oh, I'm only thinking of him, Mr. Peavy. If we don't find him at the grill, we may have to look for him at a dark movie.
You're a true friend.
Yes, indeed. And I won't give up. If Throckmorton isn't in the movie, I'll take Irene back to that cozy little apartment and faithfully wait for him there.
what time it is. 11 o'clock. The Peavies aren't home yet. If I can get out of this basement, I could still make it to Irene's. Yeah. At least I had a little dinner. Mrs. Peavy's strawberry preserves and canned dill pickles. Gee. And there's Peavy's car. They're home at last. Night owls. Yeah, they're coming up to the house now. Peavy! Help! Peavy! That ought to get some attention. That good old Peavy, he heard me.
Come out, whoever you are, and come out with your hands up.
Over. You don't have a gun, do you?
I'm not going to tell you.
Peavy! It's me, Gildersleeve.
Now advance and be recognized.
Peavy, put down that crowbar.
Mr. Gildersleeve, what are you doing in my basement?
Well, Mrs. Peavy accidentally locked me in.
Well, you still haven't explained what you were doing down there.
I came by to try to patch up your little tiff with Mrs. Peavy.
No, I've already done that. It cost me $10.82.
Well, I've got to rush over and explain to Irene now.
It's a little late, Mr. Gildersleeve.
It's never too late to make up with Irene.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Her light is still on. It's not too late to talk to her. She's going to be pretty angry. She said she'd give me only one more chance, and I've used it. Shall I ring the doorbell or just knock softly? Oop, somebody's coming out. I better hide behind the shrubs.
Oh, it was nice of you to take me to dinner, Clarence.
That sneaky Olson. What's he doing here?
It was my pleasure, Irene. In any emergency, Dr. Olson is ready to operate.
What a corny intern.
I don't care if Throckmorton never shows up.
I can't understand his completely ignoring our date tonight.
You are not being ignored, my dear.
You've been very sweet.
And I'll continue to be. You can just forget that old moss-covered water bucket.
Oh, Clarence.
By George, I'd step out and punch him in the nose if it wouldn't look like I'm eavesdropping.
Irene, have I told you you're very lovely?
You told me when you first came over tonight. You told me at dinner. And you told me at the movie.
You better watch it or I'll tell him.
Oh, when I get home tonight, I'll phone you and tell you again.
He's sickening.
Well, it's getting late. You better give me back my hand and run along.
Oh, no, not yet, Irene.
Why doesn't he let go? If I had a bean shooter, I'd beat him.
Can I see you again tomorrow night?
I haven't any other plans.
Oop.
Till tomorrow night, then?
If he tries to kiss her, I'll...
Clarence.
Yeah, the girl, Irene.
Oh, I can wait. The doctor has lots of patience, you know.
You're so clever.
Yes.
Oh, brother.
Good night, Irene.
Good night.
At last he's leaving. Now's my chance.
Did you forget something, Clarence?
Irene, it's Throckmorton.
Oh, it's you. Where have you been all night?
In a basement.
A basement? You shouldn't have bothered to come out.
No, Irene, don't slam the door. Give me a chance to explain.
Throckmorton, I don't want to hear any more of your bargain basement explanation.
Look, I went over to Peavy's house to patch up a quarrel, and Mrs. Peavy locked me in the basement.
Well, good for Mrs. Peavy.
No, Irene, I've been there all night. Peavy just came home and let me out. All I had for dinner was jam and pickles.
Oh, Throckmorton, I don't know what I'm going to do with you.
You mind trying making me a cup of coffee?
Well, it's awfully late, but come on in. Of course, I said I'd never see you again.
You glad you changed your mind?
Sit down. I think there's some warm coffee left.
Had a caller, have you?
Yes, Clarence Olson was kind enough to substitute for you tonight.
Second team, huh?
You know you were headed for the scrubs, don't you?
Yeah. I shouldn't try to help people. Why should I go out of my way to settle somebody else's quarrel? I should have let the Peavies have their tip. Look at the trouble it brought me.
Now, Throckmorton, I realize you were only trying to do good, and I forgive you.
Then everything's all right between you and me.
Everything's all right.
Wonderful. Good to be out of the doghouse.
I can't imagine Mr. and Mrs. Peavy in an argument. What was it about?
Oh, something silly. Let's see, what was it about? Oh, yes, I remember. It seems the Peavies are getting another parrot, and Mrs. Peavy wanted to name it after her side of the family.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
For instance, if it's a girl parrot, she wants to call it Bertha May. Isn't that ridiculous?
Oh, I don't know.
Huh?
What's so ridiculous about Bertha May?
It just sounds silly.
Bertha happens to be my middle name.
Zeke, out of the basement and back in the doghouse.
The great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just 30 seconds. Give the Icebox Raiders at your house a special treat. Keep a package of Kraft Natural Swiss cheese on hand for their hungry moments. Kraft Natural Swiss cheese has heart of the cheese goodness in every bite. And for your convenience, this good cheese with the holes now comes from Kraft already sliced and sealed in half-pound packages. Kraft Natural Swiss is perfect for quick snacks and easy suppers and lunches. Try it soon. Wonderful tasting Kraft Natural Swiss cheese.
Now, Irene. Bertha has always been a favorite name of mine. We've had some Berthas in our family. In fact, if I remember correctly, I had a great aunt named Bertha.
Then why did you say it sounded silly?
I didn't mean the name was silly. It's such a fine name, it's silly to waste it on a parrot.
Throckmorton, I guess I'll never be able to stay angry with you.
Good. There's another cup of coffee in the pot, Irene. Shall we split?
Well, it's a little late, but why not?
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Oh, that's probably Clarence. He was going to phone me.
Oh?
Hello?
Irene?
Yeah, let me have the phone.
Throckmorton.
I told you I'd call to tell you how lovely you are.
Oh, some flattery will get you nowhere.
Gildersleeve!
Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Willard Waterman and is an NBC Radio Network production. The show is written by John Elliott and Andy White and is transcribed. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Joanne Jordan, Lillian Randolph, George Neese, and Dick LeGrand. Musical compositions by Jack Meakin. This is John Heaston saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next week and every week for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Done up just right, a delicious hamburger can be truly a gourmet's delight, a big deal in eating pleasure. Of course, just about every good cook knows that a dash of Kraft-prepared mustard really makes a hamburger. Because when you add a little mustard, you add a lot of tang. Kraft mustard, naturally. There are two kinds of Kraft-prepared mustard. Mild Kraft mustard if you like it smooth and delicately spiced. Snappy Kraft mustard with horseradish added if you like it zippy. Get both kinds of Kraft-prepared mustard at your food store.
Now play You Bet Your Life with Groucho on the NBC Radio Network.